then all is impressive dignity, colorful yet dangerous ceremony. The crowd is quick to recognize daring that is real, true skill in the spectacle. In Pamplona, or the famed Plaza de Toros in Madrid, there is gaiety and enjoyment on these bright afternoons. Festival or not, the delight of Spain continues. Always, in some sunny courtyard, there are the haunting strains of Spanish music. Spanish dancing is more controlled, more formal than some. Yes, indeed, the rhythms change from place to place, but the spirit, everywhere the same. The lattice of Spanish grillwork leads us into the enchantment of the East. Much of the enchantment, of course, is time immemorial. As of old, the caravans still journey from the desert wastes. As of old, the storytellers still gather an enraptured circle around them to hear legends more remote than the Arabian Nights, the poetry and the tall tales of the ages handed down by word of mouth and gift of speech from generation to generation. Here is theater in the round and in the original. Here likewise is the news of the day, the gossip, the good jokes, the glad tidings. Today's minarets stand amid the beginnings of civilization. Yet cities like Casablanca in Morocco are modern cities. More and more, there are modern homes. Modern, yet with accents ancient in design. The occasion for a celebration calls for lamb in this part of the world. The breaking of bread is a ritual, in thanks for the bounty of good food and good friends. To the Arabs, hospitality is not only a way of life, it is a profound business practice. There's always time for the pleasantries, the little courtesies that make life enjoyable. People relax in the bazaar before the strenuous temptations of buying and selling. Time must wait for the convivial talk of the town, even in modern cities like Cairo in Egypt. Minarets and mosques reflect the spiritual strivings of the Muslims in the way that churches and cathedrals and temples do elsewhere in the world. A ride in a felucca up the Nile is a ride up the corridor of history. The Sphinx and the pyramids, monuments enduring, monuments silent. Guardians, as it were, to the enchantment of the East. Up you go, Junior. And into the tombs of ancient kings. The valley of the Nile bespeaks the dawn of recorded time, built indeed for the ages, some of the most ancient relics in the world. continent of striking contrasts. Beyond Victoria Falls, there are miles upon miles of dense jungle and uncharted veldt. The greatest reserve of wild animals in the world, enough to enliven the tall tales of any continent. Here also linger such primitive art forms as the tribal dance, symbolic animal skins, feathers, amulets, the markings of tribal ritual. Almost within earshot of these resounding drums, there are great modern cities like Johannesburg in South Africa. The National Memorial in Cape Town honors the pioneers who built a new world upon this continent. There are gracious reminders of the customs and traditions of their European heritage. The family outing is a picnic, and there are beaches and coves galore in the full sweep of Cape Town Harbor. Boy meets girl at the point of rocks where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Indian Ocean. India, of course, displays a further fashioning of the fabric of enchantment. Sheer beauty, adorned, is the Taj Mahal. Like the splendor of Eastern silks and satins and brocades. Boy meets girl on the wedding day. Won't you join this polite reception? The guests enjoy a lavish spread, brightened by all manner of enticing spices. The bride and groom are enthroned on this happy day of days. The British poet, Kipling, wrote that east is east and west is west. Yet the twain do meet in the common desire of governments of free men everywhere. New Delhi symbolizes the new India, striving forward with this ideal for so many different people, of so many different religions and philosophies. At the University of Malaya in Singapore, there is again that spirit of youth universal. Serious, but not too serious. Even the newest leaders of some of the oldest civilizations on Earth can't be too sober about the prospects. There is an intricacy in Eastern craftsmanship that defies the world in its patterns of perfection. Yet it is joyous withal. In Bangkok, there is a positive gaiety in the temples themselves. This is Thailand, of course, also known as the Happy Land, the land of peace. The sound of temple bells tinkling is heard all day and all night. Dancing in Thailand is more controlled, more formal than dancing anywhere else in the world. How different the rhythm, yet how similar the spirit. The night lights in Hong Kong sparkle like jewels. Would you like to eat out for a change? Chinese cuisine is an absolute triumph of the culinary art. Anywhere in the world, a Chinese restaurant teases the palate with tantalizing sweet and sour combinations. Rice is basic, of course, just like chopsticks. Home was never like this. And home for many millions in the Orient is afloat aboard the junks and sampans that jam the harbor of every seaport in the Orient. In Japan, living is a delightful ceremony, entertaining guests and engaging ritual. The Japanese garden brings the outdoors indoors, so that nature is a permanent guest in the Japanese home. So polite a people are naturally formal in all the arts. Japanese players are born to the traditions of the Japanese theater. And here they enact a blood and thunder tragedy with the eternal plot of good and evil. The audience, we take it, is truly moved by the symbolic spectacle. The Philippines are known as the Pearl of the Orient, and the capital, Manila, is a thriving and busy metropolis. The lechon party is a wonderful expression of hospitality extended. Welcomed guests whenever the occasion is something special. Something special indeed is the tinikling dance. The bamboo, symbol of life, demands the nimble of foot as well as head. In Hawaii, it's the hula, of course. The luau party derives from the Polynesian feasts of the far islands of the Pacific, where nature is so kind so much of the year. Nimble of foot? Yes, indeed. Who said this was a dog's life? Australians also have a great love of water sports. The island continent is another pioneer country, and 7 seas away from its European heritage. Christmas here, so far south of the equator, is celebrated in the heat of midsummer, which can mean a trip to see the ever-popular koala bears, living only in this part of the world, and their friends, the lively kangaroos. Best of all is a trip to the beach to escape the 90-degree Christmas temperatures. From the far islands of the Pacific, in craft no larger than 30 feet with sail, came the legendary inhabitants of the coast of South America. Whether fact or fable, here in Peru, in the narrow valleys of the Andes, rose a civilization that dazzled the Spanish conquistadors. Here in Peru rose the civilization of the Incas. The remains of their architectural achievements still puzzle archaeologists. the children play the ancient tunes handed down from memory. Since when, nobody knows. It's rugged riding on the pampas of the Argentine, especially at roundup time. Small wonder polo is the favorite sport here. Small wonder the Argentine has sent forth some of the greatest teams in the world. How the fans do enjoy it. Exciting. Every tense moment of play. Busy Buenos Aires boasts the widest street in the world and exciting structures throughout the modern metropolis.